Hello there, my friends. It's Tania Gabrielle, Wealth Astro-Numerologist. Welcome to Star Codes, the podcast where we look at an upcoming event in the stars and numbers, the astrology and numerology. And in this case, mark down this date, August 1st, 2025. That is when we have an incredible event that incorporates the number 1 in a huge way, Venus in a really big way, and Saturn and Neptune. They're currently conjunct at the beginning of the very first sign, and that is Aries, of course. And speaking of first, we have August 1st, we have Venus at 1 degree Cancer, Saturn at 1 degree in Aries, and Neptune at 1 degree in Aries. So a quadruple 1 code signifying major new beginnings. And in this case, because they're square to Venus, it causes an automatic tension. And we'll get into that in a moment. It's a really good thing, and Saturn plays a magnificent role. So there's no concern about Saturn bringing a sense of heaviness. We have a lot to unpack here. So first of all, let's look at the date, 8/1/2025. It adds up to 18, and 18 reduces to 9. Now, what that indicates is that the numbers 1 and 9, the first and last single digit, are both activated on this pivotal day, which means that we are opening up new doors and closing others. In order to make room, we need to end, and then new magical surprises are coming into play. Now, 18 is the number of dreams, health, healing, also unconditional love through the number 9, wisdom. The number 9 is the final single digit, it has a big head on the top. That's the wisdom of all the previous 8 numbers, 1 through 8. So this number of love, dreams, is fueled by the first, the number 1, the 1st of August. That is all about action, starting fresh, shifting things. And so we're at that precipice point where the endings and new beginnings are literally unleashing a new sense of being. Now, if you remember, in early July, we had Uranus move into Gemini. Uranus was the final of the slow-moving transpersonal planets to change signs, all 5. Pluto, Neptune, Saturn, Jupiter, and finally Uranus change signs within months of each other. This is a huge event. And Uranus is currently in a trine to Pluto, which is going to last for quite a while. And Pluto is sextile, as is Uranus from the other side, to Neptune and Saturn. And that creates this beautiful triangle. And that triangle is truly helping the major shifts on Earth to happen in the most painless way possible if you turn within. So now Venus is coming into play. Venus at 1 degree Cancer, creating that 1111 code with Saturn, Neptune on August 1st. Venus is coming in, the planet of love, beauty, abundance, and is creating a square to that conjunction in Aries. And this is important because Venus is such a personal planet. It covers things that we all want to have flow in our life, from abundance to pleasure to security to love and relationships. And when we add Venus to Saturn and Neptune, we have to remember that Saturn is the planet of destiny and Chronos. The Greek myth of Chronos is Saturn. Chronos is time. So Saturn always invokes a sense of destiny, timing in our life. So since Venus is squaring Saturn and Neptune and also impacting the other 2 planets, Pluto and Uranus, by virtue of them all being very early in their signs, Saturn's coming in, a faster moving planet than Neptune and Pluto and Uranus, and making it all real. And Saturn is just a reminder to bring clarity to what it is you really want. So remember, the date adds up to 18. The universal date is 18, which is about dreams, and Neptune is the dream planet. So Saturn's coming in and saying, well, make your dreams real. Bring clarity to what it is you want. Saturn reminds us that these positive changes that are coming through now, even though they may not seem that positive. They truly are bringing a new earth energy for the planet, for humanity. Saturn reminds us that these positive changes are destined and that they are deserved. But you have to understand that you are making this happen. You need a clarity of mind, a clarity of heart to really appreciate your life in a different way and enjoy your life in a different way, in a new way. So the appreciation and the enjoyment of something that is differently lived or differently perceived is absolutely vital. And that comes within. It comes from within you first. It doesn't come from an outside event. It's an internal awakening, internal stimulation where you have to free yourself internally. So Venus square Saturn, Venus is focusing on harmony, beauty, pleasure, affection. Saturn represents structure and timing and discipline and responsibility and creating boundaries. So remember, Saturn represents timing, and that means that it's time now for one part of your life to recognize what is important. But don't worry if the period is challenging, because it's going to be over. It will not ever last forever. And if you feel alone or even lonely, it is to give you that space that Venus needs for you to recognize what truly is abundant and loving and brings pleasure and security. So life goes through these phases just like nature does. We have circadian rhythms, we have natural cycles, we have the lunar cycles, and you know that this too shall pass. You'll actually learn a lot along the way. And regarding finances, it's a really good time with Venus square Saturn to budget, to create a plan in case you have unexpected expenses, and refrain from any unnecessary purchases. And Venus square Saturn also points out areas within you that maybe need strengthening, that are somewhat weak. And that way you can set yourself up to feel strong for welcoming future successes. So on the positive, proactive side, this is going to really bring a lot of opportunities for growth, especially when you persevere. It's the time to learn, to plan for your future, make small adjustments, also retreat, find a sanctuary within yourself so you can hear. And spending time by yourself is really allowing you to clear resistance of any fears that you have, or even criticism that you might be feeling. And then Venus is also square to Neptune, and that is bringing up beauty, harmony, love, but in a way that you need to really understand whether it is pie in the sky, wishful thinking, are your emotions not clear but clouded, which might lead to misunderstandings or unrealistic expectations in your relationships or in your creative process. So there may be a tendency to idealize at this time, and so you want to avoid listening to other people's advice. Venus and Neptune together are very sensitive. When it's a square, it can have a powerful influence on your intuition and creativity, yet it needs to be absent judgment that you may feel or expectations you may feel. You know, Venus's desire is for beauty, tangible beauty and connection, and Neptune's is for ethereal dreams and other realms and fairies and angelic energy, other dimensional energy. And so these two, when they come together in a square, can make it sometimes difficult to see things clearly. So you can immerse yourself in art and music and other creative outlets as a way to deal with any emotions that you feel, and that's a wonderful way to bring healing. And yes, artistic inspiration can magnify it, but it will require effort, which Saturn will provide you the ability to have that work ethic, and also to stay grounded and not get lost in illusion. So it's a really big opportunity that instead of getting into the illusionary state, that could negatively impact personal relationships or financial decisions, you now have the opportunity to make good on your desire and create with Source as your guide and not feel that uncertainty and insecurity. So be really disciplined about what it is that you want. Have real wonderful clarity that we spoke about earlier with Saturn, where you want to bring clarity to what your goals are, what it is you want in your life, and that Saturn is coming in to provide us with these positive changes. They are destined by time, chronos. They are deserved, but you have to truly tune into that. And that means you have to have that inner clarity to really appreciate a different life, a different way of enjoying life is a better way of saying it. You're appreciating life differently, and then you're enjoying what appears in a new way. So it's an extraordinary time, and I'm really excited about it because it then leads into other big events down the road in August, and it really opens up the 1111 code to that new beginnings energy. And so to help you with that inner awakening, I have a special course that focuses on your awakening, and it's called How to Master Your Stars. You can watch it instant access for free at spiritualmasteryclass.com. So what we cover is the secret to spiritual mastery, the true meaning of your rising sign, your ascendant, the important difference between individuality and uniqueness, your natal sun and moon's profound impact on living a peaceful, loving, abundant, happy, and fulfilling life, and how to connect instantly with spirit, and many more secret tools about awakening. So get instant access at spiritualmasteryclass.com. Enjoy that free webinar and have a beautiful week, a happy beginning of August, and lots of love. I will see you in our next video.